Howdy, welcome to my shop. For those who don't know me, my name's Nick, and today I'm going to start a really big project. At least really big for me because I've only done it once before ever in my life, and that's building a boat. Now, this is something I've been putting off for a long time, mostly because I don't actually have much of a boat building shop. As you may be able to tell around me, this is a tent. It's actually a Costco car tent. It's about 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, and I have two of them strapped together just so I have space for all my tools. And you can't really see, but it's also a big mess. I spent the last week clearing a spot long enough. This boat's gonna be 18 feet long and wide enough that I could work around it. So I got about 8 feet of working space here, but it's not perfect. And after a couple years of dragging my feet about not being able to do this right, I've decided I am going with not perfect because I'd rather build a boat than sit here complaining about not being able to build a boat. So today I'm going to start off with just a little introduction. I'm going to be building a boat out of this book here. This is the Building Outrigger Sailing Canoes. It's a pretty, self-explanatory title there. And the boat I'm going to build is actually the one on the cover here. It's called the Wa'apa. And it's an outrigger sailor. I'm actually going to try to build it as a trimaran, and we'll see how it goes. The easy thing about this boat is that it's going to be a stitch and glue boat. That means it's going to be made from plywood. It's going to be glued together. It's going to be held together by some wire or zip ties or something, and it'll come to shape without needing a big form and without needing anything overly complicated. It works especially well in my circumstance because I don't have a solid flat floor. Some of the other boats, there's actually two other boats in this book. They're both cedar strip, which I would prefer. I like the look better. But in order to get a really good strip built canoe, you need a really flat, solid surface to build your strong back on. I'm standing on gravel right now. It's not going to happen at this time. Also, the price of lumber right now is very, very, very high, so I'm not going to spend that much money on a nice tight grain cedar that's, going to be hard to find anyway. So I was able to go to Home Depot, pick up some inexpensive 1/4-inch plywood, which is not the best stuff to be building a boat with, but it will work. And when it comes down to it, I'd rather be building a boat than not building a boat, and I don't really care how I'm going about that. The other wood I'm going to use is going to come out of my lumber pile. I just have stashes of old wood, and I'm going to try to use that everywhere I can. I'm trying to be very frugal. I don't make a ton of money, and like most people in their backyards, right now it's not a great time. It's beginning of summer 2021. Price of lumber is just through the roof, so I'm going to scavenge anywhere I can and still see if I can make a pretty boat. With that being said, I've already spent several $100s just on epoxy, spreaders, tools, fiberglass, and the few sheets of plywood I do need to have new. So I'm going to get going here. This is going to be a long process. I'm going to try to break it up into bits and pieces. If you have any recommendations, if you have any thoughts, ideas, how I should get going, please let me know. I have built one boat in this style before. It was a rowboat. It was designed by the wonderful Colin Angus out of Victoria, British Columbia. So go check out his website. I'll link it below. It was a great boat. I really loved it. Unfortunately, sliding seat rowing is not really the style that fits me best. Mostly it didn't agree with my knees so much. Luckily, I found a great owner for it. She rows it pretty much every day. I get to watch her on Facebook. I love to see my creation out moving about. This time, I'm hoping to build something that I can sail myself, I can paddle, and have fun. I live in the San Juan Islands in Washington State, some of the most beautiful sailing ground in the world, and I want to enjoy that a little bit. So let me know what you think. I'm going to get going on this, and we'll see how it starts.